to highlight moving objects in different colours like this. So there's our clip on the timeline. The first thing we want to do is create a separate mask for each of these players. To do that, select the clip, move up to this icon here, that's the object mask tool. Keep this setting here on sharp. You can go for smooth, but it gives us less options down the line. So we'll keep it on sharp for this, and then move over to your first object. In this case, it's our first player. It will auto detect the shape. Click once and it will create the mask. Then move over to effect controls and click this icon here for it to scan all the way backwards and forwards through the clip, adapting the mask to fit the movement. So you can see the keyframes there and the new mask in place in effect controls. And if we scrub back and forth, you can see how it tracks the movement. Now we just need to follow the same process for the other 3 players. But before you click on the next player, make sure you reselect the object mask tool, otherwise it will just add more to the first mask that we made. But we need 4 separate masks for this, so re-click the object mask tool and go to the next player. Click that, same process, and then do that for the next 2. I'll just speed it up while I do that. And there's our 4 masks. If we minimize those, we can see them clearly. We'll keep those 4 masks on the first clip as a kind of mask palette from which to draw from. Next step is to create 4 different adjustment layers and change the color label for each one. Head up to any project bin and hit this icon here to create an adjustment layer. Press OK, grab the adjustment layer, put it on the timeline, stretch it out to fit the clip, then right click, hit label and choose a color. So we'll go for this pink color to start off with. Then click on that adjustment layer, hold down Alt and drag upwards to copy it onto the next track. Then right click that one, same deal, pick a color and same for the next 2. So now we've got 4 color coded adjustment layers. Click and drag to group select the layers and head up to effects, search for Lumetri Color and drag and drop that onto the selected clips. Now move back to our base clip, click on effect controls, select that first mask that we made and copy that. Then click on the first adjustment layer that we made, the pink one, select Lumetri Color in effect controls, press Ctrl V to paste. That's now pasted our first player mask on our first adjustment layer, which enables us to make adjustments to the color of that first player. So go down to color wheels and match inside Lumetri Color and click on the edge of each circle in the color that we want. In this case, we're going to highlight this player in pink, and you probably want to deselect the actual mask at this point so that the default mask red color is out of the way. And now it's just a case of adjusting settings in Lumetri Color to get the mask highlighted as we want it. In these color wheels, you've got sliders on mid-tone, shadows and highlights. And for these, I like to go to basic correction and bump up the exposure. Maybe create some contrast by bringing down the black. And let's minimize those and go to the actual mask itself, still inside Lumetri Color, and we can create a glow effect on the highlight by increasing the expansion. Let's go with 15 on that and feather to about 30. And that gives us a bit of a glow, and altogether that's the look we want, so we can move on to the next mask. Same process for the next mask. Go to the second adjustment layer, in this case it's yellow, head to effect controls, paste it on Lumetri Color and adjust the settings from there. Then same process for the next 2. So I'll just speed that up. Okay, so we've got our colors on our players, and this next bit is the reason I put it on different layers and not all on one clip, because I just find it clearer doing it this way. Press P to select the pen tool and move down to the first adjustment layer. Click on this opacity line to make a keyframe. Move along about 5 frames. You can use the arrow key. Each tap of the arrow key is 1 frame. Make another keyframe and then move along 15 frames. Press shift and the arrow key 3 times to move 15 frames along. Create the last keyframe and move the first and last keyframes down to the bottom. That'll be 0, meaning the middle keyframe is 100, and that's the opacity. So if we play that back, we get this. And we can copy that quite easily onto the other adjustment layers by holding down shift, selecting all 3 keyframes, pressing Ctrl and C to copy, and then select the next adjustment layer, press Ctrl and V to paste, and it will paste the keyframes wherever your playhead is. So in this way we can repeat the process for the next 2 clips and stagger the effects so that they come in one at a time. And if we play that back, this is what we get. To adjust the timings, just group select the keyframes by pressing shift and clicking on each one, and then move them along. If we play that back, we can see the last highlight comes in a little bit later. And now that we've made that effect, we can get a bonus effect out of it just by deactivating the color wheels and match on each mask, and we end up with a similar effect but just using exposure instead of color. Hope that helped. And talking of effects, a big update to the Solid Coast Essentials text pack has just dropped. It now has more effects and smoother movements, pre-built and ready to drag and drop. Links in the description, and for the OGs that already have the original pack, just re-download it and you'll get the update free. See ya.